RWBY Chibi episode 10. Now this episode, I gotta say, I actually had a really good time with. I love the Jaune ASMR thing. That made me laugh like crazy. I thought that was probably my favorite part of the entire episode. But I enjoyed this one. I thought we had some good skits once again. They kind of did the longer thing where it was like, it kind of built up a little. And like I said, I think the Jaune thing really paid off a lot. They did a little bit of the shipping stuff, especially with the ASMR scene. They had, Period coming. It's like, oh, you get those tingly feelings like when that special someone says hi from the hallway, and of course she walks right in and says hello, and he flips out on her, of course. But I enjoyed that. I thought it was, a really funny scene. I was surprised that they did that, but then I thought about the promo. I think they've had it for maybe it was the last 3 episodes, but the thing they talked about with like the ultimate head massage or whatever, and ASMR and stuff. So I was like, it's fitting because it's kind of something like they made a whole documentary about it recently. So I was like, that's funny that they put that in there, and I know what ASMR is, so I thought it was really funny. And I actually tried to see if they did it because I listened to it after I watched that scene, or after I finished the episode. I went back and I was like, let me listen to that scene using headphones, and it wasn't like an actual ASMR thing, but that makes sense because I assumed that they were recording like a normal show where it's just one mic, so they don't exactly have like moving left and moving right. But I thought that was a really funny moment. Starting off in the kitchen again with Ren and him making his pancakes and stuff, and had I don't think it was an 8-bit version. I can't remember what it was, but the song was Boop, which is Nora and Ren's song. But I like that. I thought it was really cool to hear that version of the song because they've been doing. It seemed like at least once an episode, it's one of the main songs, and they change them, and it's like either 8-bit or it's like just different instrumental or something like that. So that was pretty cool, and we got to see, I guess, Giant Nora again, which I thought was funny, and she's just eating all the pancakes and stuff like that. So I thought that was a funny one, and Ren being super serious and trying to keep track of his pancakes and stuff, and he's just turning and doing his quick thing, but Nora's just a little too fast. But he eventually caught her in the giant random cage he set up. But I like that one. Definitely like the ASMR thing, and ultimately everything they did in this one I thought was pretty enjoyable. So simply put, it was a fun little episode. I think it was entertaining for what they did. Like I said, we got a little bit of the shipping stuff again, and I guess it really wasn't shipping stuff as far as the Nora and Ren thing. That was kind of just, here they are, and that's pretty much it. So that wasn't exactly shipping, but of course it was the two of them. And like I said, the kind of quick little nod to Jaune and Nora, of course, or Jaune, not Jaune and Nora, Jaune and Pyrrha. I don't know how I ended up saying Nora, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun little episode, very neat, very simple. They didn't do anything super crazy, I didn't think, but I certainly loved the ASMR thing, and maybe it's because I knew what it was before that, so it just made me laugh like crazy, because he started off, and it's exactly how those videos sound too, where it's like, people lean in, and it's like, they're really quiet, because that's the point of the video, and you can hear when people like part their lips and everything, and I thought it was so funny, because it's exactly like how those videos sound, and it's like, you could hear his like mouth opening up, and I just thought that was the funniest thing. I was like, this is exactly how those videos go, and it worked. I thought it was really funny, and I just liked the way they did it, and even the ending I really loved, because I thought it was, of course, it was Nora messing with him and stuff, and she does it like the big scream, or it looks like she's about to do the big scream, and then she's like, hey, and then he freaks out and he screams super loud, and that actually got me, because it's Nora, so it wouldn't surprise you if she actually screamed and it just like completely messed everything up or something. But the way they did it just made it even funnier to me, so I really enjoyed that. It was obviously that was my favorite one out of the skits. I just thought it was really well done, and it worked with the ASMR thing. Like I said, maybe it's because I actually watch ASMR videos every once in a while, so I just enjoyed it a whole lot more because I knew exactly what it was. But I enjoyed this episode. I thought it was really funny. Still waiting to see some more characters, because we've gotten, Team RWBY, and we got our, of course, Team Juniper, and we got the old dude, and that was it. And we had like, a bit of Team RWBY. Was mostly in the final skin in this one, which I did enjoy. Sick Weiss was actually really funny. This like And actually, that was something I was familiar with too. The milk thing. My cousin used to do that all the time. Where it's like, oh, I'll get milk, and just you're sick or whatever, drink some milk. It's like I'm dying. Milk isn't gonna help. So that was oddly personal for me too. So that actually did make me laugh. But I'm still waiting. I want to see some more of these characters and see some of the other teams, and of course, people want to see Team Coffee and Team Sun, and I'm still waiting on professors. I'm really shocked we haven't seen any of the professors. I really thought that we would have, by this point at least, somebody. Like, it wouldn't, no one in particular, I just assumed we'd see at least one adult, or at least professor, and really out of all the characters that they have, the one adult we've seen has been the old dude, and that's it. And so I'm still kind of waiting on who they're going to do or what they're going to do with these adult characters. And there's a ton of potential because they have, very funny, characters, and then the more serious adults as well. But still a ton of characters for us to see, and especially considering some of these characters like Team Sun and Team Coffee, we still haven't really seen that much of them in the regular series. So I'd still like to see them, in Chibi version. But I had a good time with this one. I'm excited for, whatever we're going to be getting for the next episode. But, of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this one. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite skit, your least favorite skit. And I guess with these last couple episodes, it does seem like they're kind of trending towards longer skits compared to shorter skits. I think the third one was the shortest one that we had. Or at least it seemed like the shortest one. I think the ASMR was the longest. And maybe because it was just Ren and it wasn't a bunch, there wasn't a lot of dialogue, it seemed like that first skit was actually fairly long, but I guess that one was technically about the same length as the ending. But I would love to know what you guys think about them going this route, because when they first did it, my question was, do you guys like that idea, or would you prefer the shorter skits? But now it seems like they found a pretty good balance, because they found ones where it's like, it's just short enough, but it's also just long enough, and they put multiple things in there, so it's like it has the comedy of multiple skits in one, but it's technically one long skit, and you can have something that, kicks off in the beginning of the overall skit, and then you got little stuff like the pure thing for the ASMR, and just, how it's playing out with Jaune doing that, and then Nora comes in and ruins it at the end, but in kind of a twist little way. So I think they found a good balance with this. I like the idea of the longer skits. Initially, I like the shorter idea where it's just random silly stuff and then it moves on to something else. And I'm sure they won't completely abandon that idea. They'll probably go back to it a little bit and have, little snippets here and there. And maybe once they start doing more of the characters that we haven't seen yet in Chibi form, maybe they'll go back a little bit to like the smaller segments to be like, hey, here's, maybe they'll just do a whole team and be like, here's, this whole team in a bunch of different, little skits for an episode. But I would love to know what you guys think about kind of the longer, I guess, skit style compared to the shorter quality that we had in the earlier episodes. And, of course, what you guys thought about this one in general. So please comment below, let me know. And thanks for watching.